This is Nncfs 2015. No nonsense crime fighting strategy. The goal is to reduce in the shortest time possible various incidents of violent crime by swiftly, effectively, and harshly punishing criminals. The focus to cause a change of mindset by causing and ensuring that it becomes blatantly clear that crime, and in particular violent crime, will not be tolerated. If there is no fear of breaking the rule of law, then the rule of law has no chance of breaking the back of crime. In the fight to reduce violent crime, there are 6 areas to immediately address: rebranding, reprogramming, re-education, national policies, policing, and illegal immigration. Let's look at rebranding. Presenting the criminal enterprise as a totally negative option. Decrease the rewards of exposure in the media for violent criminals who are in custody. Working with media houses to only show still shots of murder-accused shackled as the beginning of punishment for being deemed associated with crime. Every day the report of crimes successfully solved or interrupted will be publicized via media outlets. Remembering, if there is no fear of breaking the rule of law, then the law has no chance of breaking the back of crime. Let us look at reprogramming. Programming will tremendously affect the overall results. The saturation of violent and sexually explicit lyrics being aired over public radio and television has to be immediately eliminated by IRCA. This creates the basic mindset from which many of these criminals and their groups operate. As violent music and movies act as training and programming tools for criminal organizations, it should be considered criminal for one to play or air material that promotes or glorifies violence or exposes explicit sex in public spaces or via any public medium. All music acts that perform this kind of material should be banned from public performances in the Bahamas. Each media house must have programming dedicated towards the reduction of violence during prime time. Example, radio stations and cable companies and TV stations will be required to play anti-violence programming and or promote conflict resolution programming all day. Remember, if there is no fear of breaking the rule of law, then the law has no chance of breaking the back of crime. Re-education. Re-educating the populace will play a major role. With immediate effect, anger management classes, conflict resolution classes, and the important role of the family in a stable society classes should become a certified mandatory part of the school curriculum for grades 1 through 12, with age-specific lessons in the necessary areas. Preteens and teens should receive relationship management courses. Courses should be designed by the Ministry of Education in conjunction with the successful leaders of similar programs locally and the Christian Church in particular. With immediate effect, area wardens are to be introduced to ensure children are in school during school hours. Caning of students will also be reintroduced and will be administered by a designated officer under supervision. This is a police officer, a specific new introduced part of the police force, which will be dealing with students in particular. They may be dressed slightly differently so as to not reduce the respect or the fear caused by the uniformed forces. Remember, if there is no fear of breaking the rule of law, then the law has no chance of breaking the back of crime. National policies. Reintroduce public flogging for crimes committed in and against the public. The immediate reintroduction of capital punishment, hanging, and or death by firing squad, in particular for those convicted of murder using firearms. The possession of military-type guns like AK-47s and armor-piercing bullets should carry an automatic life sentence. The evidence is clear that where there is the potential of severe punishment for violent crimes, the potential for violent crimes is reduced. Consistent, direct contact policing. Every identified crime hotspot will be periodically subjected to the Mobile Area Management Surveillance Unit. This mobile roaming unit will be set up in identified high violent crime areas. It will consist of a mobile SWAT unit with onboard area CCTV surveillance equipment, small drones, and with a complement of 10 to 15 strike officers. This immediate response unit is designed to intimidate would-be criminals while monitoring and managing high crime areas. This will provide a military-type presence in areas that have become semi-militarized by criminals with guns, gangs, and drugs. This unit will pop up in areas unannounced and remain for days at a time to reappear in the same manner so as to create difficulty for criminals to operate as usual. It will destroy the routine of criminals and provide better management opportunities for police officers. Roadblocks and auto searches will be conducted in these areas on a continual basis, 24 hours a day, morning to morning, from the beginning of each campaign to the end. And these campaigns can last from 3 days to 3 weeks. To address space issues, new, smaller satellite prisons will be constructed on an uninhabited island and will be policed by officers and video monitored from the Capitol by CCTV with links to the RBDF in the Capitol. Remember, if there is no fear of breaking the rule of law, then the law has no chance of breaking the back of crime. Immigration. Enhancing the immigration effort. Surveillance of land and sea operations will be enhanced by the introduction of mini and, where affordable, large drones. Every illegal shanty town will be searched and demolished. All businesses hiring undocumented people will be evaluated and prosecuted. All illegal immigrants will be photographed, fingerprinted, and properly and professionally evaluated on site. Those found to have contravened the law will be immediately identified for deportation on large vessels equipped with basic food items and medical assistance that are scheduled to leave monthly from Nassau and designated islands. They will be escorted by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the RBDF. Necessary security protocols will be observed to avoid the potential for mutiny. Property owners on which these illegal shanty towns exist will be fined and/or imprisoned for up to 15 years. Those that harbor illegal immigrants will be fined and/or imprisoned for up to 20 years. Additional funding will be sought from the UN, the US, and other allied countries to prevent the systematic, calculated cultural and social genocide of the indigenous people of the Bahamas. Bahamians have the right to exist as Bahamians in the Bahamas with our unique culture and demeanor. Assistance from organizations like Amnesty International will be sought to protect the rights of the indigenous Bahamian with a view to preventing the overwhelming of an entire Bahamian people and country by another existing country and people. Remember, if there is no fear of breaking the rule of law, then the law has no chance of breaking the back of crime.